So about a year ago, I released a video where I talked about 7 important lightsaber companies that you need to know about. And then I asked all of you guys to comment with your own lightsaber shopping experiences. And in all the comments you guys left on last year's video, a total of 66 different lightsaber companies were mentioned.
66.
11 of those companies actually account for 80% of all the reviews in the comments. Those are the 11 companies that we are going to talk about today. And the first company we're going to look at is Ultra Sabers. So this 358 number up here signifies the number of people who mentioned Ultra Sabers in the comments. And below that, I made a little bar graph to visualize how people feel about Ultra Sabers. The bar on the left is a tally of the number of people who expressed a negative opinion regarding Ultra Sabers. In the middle is the number of people who expressed a positive opinion, and lastly, we have neutral opinions on the right. By itself, this chart doesn't say much, but if we zoom out, we'll see 10 other charts for 10 other companies. Look at their graph as compared to all of the rest of them. You see how the negative bar is taller than the positive? That means most of the people who mentioned and spoke about Ultra Sabers had a bad feeling about them. No other company in this list has that. But let's go deeper into these numbers to see exactly what people like and dislike about Ultra Sabers. And oh, really quick before I forget. So I think I'm gonna make this video like a yearly thing. So please comment down below with your thoughts, your experiences regarding the lightsaber industry. I think you're gonna find this video hugely beneficial, especially if you're just getting into this hobby. But this video wouldn't exist without your help. So again, please go comment below. Here are some of the things that the majority of people dislike about Ultra Sabers. 10 people spoke about the features that Ultra Sabers offers with its lightsabers. All of them said something bad about it. For example, Rose Z says they needed to replace the batteries every single day. Garrett Nelson's lightsaber doesn't work consistently. Others complain that their blades aren't very bright. And the general consensus is that the technology inside an Ultra Saber is just outdated and severely lagging behind the competition. Of the 13 instances that mentioned refunds or warranties, all except one were negative. This includes situations where the company just refuses to give a refund or refuses to honor the terms of their own warranty. Stock levels is another thing people don't like. So here's an example of a typical bad experience someone wrote about regarding Ultra Sabers. Tommy Klein. Yeah, I didn't know about Ultra Sabers and I bought from them. 3 months later than it was supposed to arrive, we got an email saying that they were out of stock. I checked the website that moment and it still said they were in stock, but the email also said that I would have to wait 4 more months for them to be back in stock, bringing the total fulfillment time to 8 months. And apparently he can't even get a full refund. And then there's order accuracy, which is 85% negative, mainly people not receiving things that they ordered. And on the flip side of things, the attribute that people were the most positive about were shipping times. Ultra Sabers customers have reported receiving their sabers as quickly as 1 to 2 weeks. Some things that people are very split on are hilt quality, value, and customer service. The value score is surprising to me because Ultra Sabers is supposed to have some of the cheapest prices in the galaxy, and yet half of the people who commented are telling people to take their money elsewhere. Oh, and one more thing, my girlfriend actually owns an Ultra Saber. About 1.5 years ago, she purchased a mystery saber for about $70, and she's done some, I'm just gonna go grab it. She's done some playful dueling on a couple occasions, but sadly, it no longer turns on. I've tried charging the battery, replacing the battery, but no luck. I think the board might be fried because I could smell something burning. So that is Ultra Sabers, and that's basically how the rest of this video is gonna go. If you wanna know exactly how I analyzed everything, I wrote my process down in the video description below, in case you're interested. Saber Forge. Here is their sentiment card. They are right behind Ultra Sabers as the second most talked about lightsaber company in the comments section, with 160 total comments, but with a more positive sentiment. So nearly 60 positive reviews and about half as many negative. Saber Forge pretty clearly excels in hilt design, blade durability, and product variety. And most people seem satisfied with the hilt quality. People seem split on the hilt electronics, the features, value, and their customer service. And the things most people dislike about Saber Forge are with regard to their transparency, stock levels, and shipping times. There are several complaints about Saber Forge constantly being out of stock on their entire parts collection, several stories about them not being totally honest with their customers, and unless you live near them in Oregon, you can expect exceedingly long shipping times. Here is my Saber Forge. It is a replica of Ezra Bridger's. My experience has been pretty on par with those statistics. I agree completely that they probably have the most product variety of any lightsaber company out there. In fact, that's the entire reason why I purchased from them. It's because they were the only ones who made this replica saber, and I needed it for my cosplay. I got this in about 2 weeks because I ordered from their Etsy site. Interestingly enough, the buying experience on their Etsy store is completely different than if you bought the exact same thing on their website. I'm still not 100% sure why, but that's real. If you need a specific character's lightsaber, Saber Forge almost certainly makes it. But start by searching their Etsy page. Number 3 on our list is Crimson Dawn, mentioned in 58 separate comments, all of which expressed a positive sentiment towards the company. The following attributes have been voted on by 11 or more people, and they are all 100% positive. Hilt quality, lightsaber features, value, customer service, and shipping time. The only other useful metric I have for Crimson Dawn is product variety. 6 people saying something good and 2 people saying something bad. Anyways, Crimson Dawn was kind of fun to read. Customers really like them. Everyone who spoke about them just seemed so happy with their service, and they pretty much all agreed on the same things. Now let's talk Sabertrio, number 4 on our list. Here is their high-level sentiment report card. Not as clean as Crimson Dawn's, but still very, very good. We don't have nearly as much data for Sabertrio than we do for, say, Ultra Sabers. Actually, pretty much every company that we're going to cover on this list going forward will have similarly sparse data, but still, we can see some pretty clear patterns emerging here. Quality, for instance, 20 out of 20 would recommend. Customer service, 20 out of 21. Lightsaber features, 7 out of 7 approve. There are 2 lightsaber soundboards in the world that represent the cutting edge of lightsaber technology, and Sabertrio offers both. That's why this score is perfect. Value, 8 out of 9 are good. Sabertrio's stunt lightsabers start at $154, and their NeoPixel blades, or Neo Blade lightsabers, as they call them, start at $450. Okay, now for the bad stuff about Sabertrio. Stock levels. 11 people are talking about it, 11 people hate it. And this is basically the one universal complaint everyone has about Sabertrio. In my opinion, so this is my opinion now, no one has actually commented this. What I think is happening is that Sabertrio is becoming so popular that they are consistently underestimating how much supply they need to meet their demand. The only other negative things people had to say about Sabertrio are that they don't have a lot of product variety and their shipping times are a little lengthier than others. With regard to product variety, if you compare them to Ultra Sabers or Saber Forge especially, yeah, that's true. They only offer 10 different lightsaber designs. They also don't make replica hilts. Electrum Sabercrafts. This is a company a lot of people were mad at me about because I didn't include them on my last top companies list. If you haven't heard by now, Electrum Sabercrafts is known for their smart sabers. They're the only company that I'm aware of that has their own app where you could customize all your lightsaber settings using just your phone, which I could definitely get behind. Hilt quality, value, and customer service all look top-notch, nothing but great things there. There is one category where there is a mix of good and bad, but mostly good, and that is lightsaber features, and I can tell you why. Yes, the app is amazing. However, there is one subset of you, I'm sorry, I don't know why this makes me so happy. There is one subset of users who aren't raving about this. Android users. Yeah, so apparently the app is quite buggy on Android phones. But what else is new, am I right? If you have an Android, maybe wait until Electrum Sabercrafts fixes those issues. There is one category that was universally disliked: product variety. So if you look at their website, which I'm looking at right now, we can see why. There's literally 9 choices here. That being said, some of these look pretty dope, actually. I've never really... What is this? A torrent? This might be one of the sexiest lightsabers I've ever seen. Does it say $300? Is it NeoPixel? NeoPixel. This is where I'm gonna get my next lightsaber. I just decided. Okay, number 6, Vaders Vault. In my last video, Vaders Vault actually took first place as being the best quality lightsaber money could buy. And it's certainly the nicest and best quality lightsaber that I own. I even made an entire video review of this lightsaber, so go check that out if you want the specifics of this. But here is their high-level sentiment card. It's mostly good, but the good to bad ratio is definitely lower than Electrum's. If we look at the data, we can clearly see that there are 2 reasons why: extreme shipping times and lower perceived value. According to Vaders Vault's website, they ask you to allow 4 to 6 months of assembly time for their combat sabers and 9 to 15 months for their limited edition replicas. As for the value score, Vaders Vault sells some of the most expensive lightsabers currently in the market. The cheapest lightsaber that I could find on their website starts at $400, and the most expensive build out that I could find runs a whopping $3,218. I've had mine for about 7 months. It's experienced some playful dueling, and I haven't noticed any problems with it until just recently, actually. For some reason, the lightsaber is severely draining the battery, even when it's not on. That's not great. Otherwise, I love it. I mean, look at this. This is my favorite right here. This is my pride and joy. It's undeniably well made, and according to their hilt quality score, not a single person seems to disagree. Okay, now moving on to the complete opposite end of the price spectrum, the POC Store. 27 total comments, about 3/4 of them are positive, primarily for hilt quality, value, and shipping speed. If you watched my last video, you already know that the POC Store is where you'll get the biggest bang for your buck. They have some of the cheapest lightsabers in existence. I think you can even swipe a NeoPixel for like less than $200, which is crazy. But the kicker is that you're not just getting some hunk of junk. The quality is supposed to be very good, not just for a cheap lightsaber, but for a lightsaber. And they're supposed to be strong enough to duel with even. So if you're looking for a cheap dueling lightsaber that also has NeoPixel, start by looking at the POC Store, or the Patch Store. I don't know, someone said I mispronounced it. But the other cool thing is that despite being located in Hong Kong, their shipping times are usually only just a couple weeks, which I don't understand. The only other useful data point I have for you is lightsaber features: 50% good, 50% bad. Tom Groot is warning everyone not to buy the Shiva, which is the cheapest stunt saber you could buy, starting at $44, because it comes with an unprotected lithium battery, which can potentially overcharge and explode. So I looked at the Shiva, and he's right. But you could also buy it without a battery. So if you want to just buy the hilt and then go out somewhere else, buy a protected battery, use that instead. Problem solved. All right, number 8 is Kyber Lights. Kyber Light was another company that a lot of people were mad at me for omitting from the previous video. This is a brand I've heard a lot about, like only good things, and one stat in particular got way more love than I think any other company, and that is blade durability. Kyber Light sabers can apparently take a huge amount of punishment, according to CMonster0125, who uses them to spar with at his local martial arts school. The majority of people also praise Kyber Light sabers for their affordability and their customization options. Number 9 is Corvanth. This company was actually slotted in 2nd place in my last video, right behind Vaders Vault, for being the best quality lightsaber that money can buy. But according to the comments of that video, I'm getting slightly different vibes. For example, everyone pretty much agrees that the quality of Corvanth hilts are exceptional. But what my research didn't show me last time was that their electronics aren't installed very well. That's the sentiment that I'm picking up. Unfortunately, so few people mention Corvanth that I don't have a lot of solid data to share with you here. All the attributes that I've been ranking these companies on so far got less than 10 votes. Take these with a grain of salt, I guess. The only thing that sticks out to me is the value. It's got 6 people who voted bad and only 1 person who voted good. This is kind of similar situation to Vaders Vault, I think, because Corvanth sabers are significantly more expensive than your average lightsaber, and I guess people don't think that the price is worth what they're getting in return. That's pretty much all I can derive. So let's move on. We're in the home stretch with Rebel Sabers being the 10th most talked about company in the comments. This is a company I've heard extremely little about myself, but it looks like I might be missing something because Rebel Sabers is the only other company besides Crimson Dawn that received a perfect sentiment score. Another interesting thing is that people were much more descriptive with Rebel Sabers than they were with Corvanth. So the data here is a bit more telling. For instance, value is the #1 thing people like about Rebel Sabers, followed by customer service, hilt quality, and lightsaber features. No one said anything bad about those things, just perfect scores on all 4 of them. That being said, all of those things have less than 10 votes each, so keep that in mind. And last but not least, we have Disney Legacy Sabers, and here is their sentiment card. Unfortunately, the more detailed analytics are severely lacking, but here are my 2 cents. The hilt themselves are gorgeous. The prices are extremely reasonable in my opinion. They start at like $130 or something. The customer service is perfection because it's Disney. The variety is pretty good in my opinion. The box that you get it in is this beautifully designed chest thing that you open with 2 hands, and then your lightsaber is just there sitting in cloth for you, unlike anything you'll get from any other lightsaber company. The bad things about Disney Legacy Sabers, well, I mean, availability. I'm like 3,000 miles away from Disney. I can't just go there whenever I want. Even worse if you're in a different country altogether. So availability and the lightsaber's features. Oh, and also the blades. So the features aren't close to cutting edge. You won't get features like blaster deflections, smooth swing, tip drag. You can't customize the sound fonts. You can't customize or change the colors. And the blades aren't NeoPixel, unfortunately. So they're not as bright as they can be. That being said, they are pretty bright. Like, I brought my Saber Forge lightsaber into the park. When nighttime came, everybody had their lightsabers out. Like, mine was significantly dimmer. Speaking of the blades, they're not really as durable as all the other blades that we've seen so far. Don't get me wrong, they could take a serious beating, and you can duel them to a pretty heavy extent, but the harder you go, the more prone the blades are to dents. So there you have it, the 11 most talked about lightsaber companies. Guys, please tell me down in the comments what you thought about this list. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Let me know. Until then, you will subscribe to my YouTube channel and we will keep on living Star Wars. Peace.